hope everybody is doing super great on this beautiful weekend. We finally got a little bit of sunlight. So I am here to share one of the books that I read this week, and it was fantastic. So that book is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. So this is Angie's second book, and if you're going into it thinking that this is the sequel to The Hate U Give, it is not. The only thing that these girls have in common is that they live in the same neighborhood. And I love how Angie did this. And she told us on Friday when she was here in Austin that she set Bree and Star being from the same neighborhood to show that two girls can live in the same neighborhood and have absolutely nothing in common. The thing that I really love about Bree is that she wants to work hard and she wants to do more and she wants to be better so that she can help her family. She has heard a lot about what has been going on in her neighborhood. She frequently references when Khalil was killed. And so she'll say a lot when that boy was murdered or when the riots happened. And so she references to that a lot. And she sees how things are automatically going against her in her own life, which to me is really depressing. Anyway, so she sees how things are going against her. She knows how things are set up to be just not in her favor, and she still wants more. And she knows that she has to work hard so that she can get out of Garden Heights and do more for her family. So when the book opens, we see her at going to school, and she does not go to the same school as Star. So again, nothing in common. And her school has security guards at the entrance, and she says that since her school started having diverse population, meaning they've started busing in Latinx and African American students, that now the security has gotten worse or better, depending on the way you think about it. So Bree is going to school one day, and Bree sells candy at school because they don't allow candy to be sold by the school anymore. And so she has a bag full of candy in her backpack, and she sells it so that she can have extra money to buy shoes or whatever it is that she needs so that she doesn't have to ask her mom for money. And when she's going into school, the security guard says that he's doing a random check, and he takes her bag and he's going to swing it and do a random check and open it up. And Bree starts panicking because she knows this is going to get her in trouble. She knows she's not supposed to have candy. She knows she's not supposed to be selling anything at school. And so she gets upset and she says, "No, you don't need to search my bag. What do you need to search my bag for?" And then all of a sudden, the security guards grab her, pin her arms behind her, and throw her on the ground while the curtains in my room where I record fell. So they throw her on the ground and they have everything held away from her. And of course, kids start recording it and things start getting out of control and things just go crazy from there. And, they search her bag and everything just goes downhill. So the rest of the day, Bree is spent in the office, and her mom comes to school and she explains, it was just candy. And of course, everyone starts assuming, oh, she's selling drugs or she's doing this and that and she's doing something she shouldn't, and calling her a hoodlum and calling her a ghetto angry Black girl. And those words really get to Bree. And she starts saying, you don't know me. You don't know who I am. You don't know why I have this candy. But instead of standing up against the people that are fighting against her, she just stays quiet and lets her mom do the talking, which is great. Her mom is awesome. I really love the character of her mom. So her mom was a drug addict and has been sober for 5 or 6 years. And every day you can see that she's working hard for her kids and she's trying to do better. Well, as this is happening, we find out that Bree's mom has just lost her job and they don't have gas in their house anymore. So Bree wakes up to a cold house. And then as everything progresses, they get their lights turned off. They don't know how they're going to find food. Bree's mom has lost her job. She's trying to get a job. But like she says, when you've got this gap in your employment, people make assumptions and they question you. And no matter how hard she tries to explain that she's sober now, people don't take that into what it actually is. And they think that she's lying. And so Bree sees that struggle and she wants to work hard. And so Bree gets an invitation to battle in the ring. And the ring is where she gets to do rap battles. And if you have never seen 8 Mile, get on it because rap battles look amazing. And it's a really cool thing to watch. The awesome part about this book, besides that it is awesome in itself, is that when we saw Angie Thomas here in Austin, she rapped Bree's rap for us, and it was awesome. So I would say listen to the audiobook if you want to hear how awesome that rap is, or like look for a video on YouTube of Angie Thomas rapping, because just reading it does not do the same justice that it deserves. So anyway, this isn't really a spoiler. So Bree chokes. Well, Bree wins her first battle, then chokes on the second one, so then they have to have a third one. I'm not going to spoil that for you. So then things progress, and she ends up being able to record a song. And this song is intense. It very much describes to the world what is going on in her neighborhood. But what her aunt and her family and her friends tell her is that you are not portraying yourself as the way you are. So in the song, Bree talks about having guns and being strapped, and repping gang colors and not being a part of gangs. And her family and her friends are like, that's not who you are. Like, you don't have guns and you're not part of a gang. And, you're not being you. You're not being true to yourself. And she says, well, but the point of the song is for people to see that that's not who I am, and that they are assuming that's who I am because that's what they think that they know, but they don't actually know anything about me. And the same, her friends and her family are like, people are not going to get that deep into your song. They're going to take it for face value at what it is. So things progress, and the song blows up, and it is awesome. And Bree has a chance to get a record deal, and her dream is to be able to get a 6-figure record deal. And she sees people in her neighborhood getting the same. There's another rap artist from her neighborhood called D Nice who has done the same. He's gotten his record deal. He's come back and taken care of his family, and that's Bree's goal. She wants to be able to take care of her family so that they don't have to worry about their lights being shut off, or not having gas, or not having food. She wants to be able to support them. And she sees this as her big break. So someone comes into her life and offers her the chance to record and get a deal. And of course, Bree is like, yes. And so in the process of doing so, she makes a lot of mistakes. But what I see them as is if you or I or any normal person were to be put into the spotlight just so suddenly that you don't really know what's going on, you're not going to have time to see that you are being personally attacked when someone is interviewing you and attacking you. You're not going to have the time to sit and think, oh, this is what's going on. This is why they're asking me this. You're just going to act. And that's exactly what Bree does. So going back to, if you were one of the people that thinks this is a sequel to The Hate U Give, everything that Star is in The Hate U Give is what Bree is not. So Star sees that line that she can't cross, and she sees it, and she knows where it is, and she doesn't cross it. Bree knows where the line is. She doesn't really care. That's the biggest difference that I see between them, and I love them for it, and I love Bree because she is everything that girls who are constantly told you cannot speak up for yourself and you can't defend yourself, you just have to accept the way things are. She is that voice. And she is that voice in girls saying, no, but this is wrong, and I need to do something about this, and I have to speak up. But also that other side is telling her, but if you speak up, things could get worse. And if you do something about it, they could have repercussions on you and your family. And so Bree has to learn that with big fame and with big people seeing you and listening to your songs and having this following behind you, you are put in the spotlight, and there are repercussions, and people do look to you when you are making those mistakes and seeing what you're doing, and people are constantly judging you and thinking of you. And so Bree learns this very, very quickly, and she has to learn, am I going to continue on this path and do this the way that I'm being given the chance so that I can help my family, or am I going to step back and figure it out my own way, whether it happens or not, and just do better? So she has to make that choice. But what I love, love, love about this book, and what I really got from it, is that it is about finding your voice and making noise. So Bree saw where things were wrong, and Bree decided what she was going to do based on what she knew and what was her truth. So I love that. I loved this book. Love, 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 loved it. It is a lot harder to read than The Hate U Give. Where The Hate U Give is violent, this one is The Hate U Give is very real, but this is so real. Like, this could be happening in all of our students' neighborhoods right now. This could be happening in your neighborhood. This could be happening to you. This could be happening to one of your students. Maybe they're not getting a 6-figure record deal. Maybe they're not rapping, but the parts where Bree is showing her background and who she is, with, not being able to pay bills, not having food, her shoes falling apart. And there's also boy drama. Like, these are things that kids can relate to. Now, I'm a middle school librarian. I don't know how I feel about putting it into a middle school library. There is a lot of cussing. So if that's something you're sensitive to, be forewarned, there is a lot of cussing in this book. I didn't think it was bad. I think it makes it even more real. But if that is something that you see that could be a problem in your library or for your students or even for yourself, there's your trigger warning. But it is very real. It is fantastic. Angie Thomas did a wonderful job, and I love Bree. So thank you, Angie Thomas, and thank you to Book People for bringing her to us in Austin. I hope everybody reads it because this book was amazing. If you loved it, let me know. And if you liked today's vlog, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Thanks, y'all. Have a great weekend. Happy reading.